Welcome back to the Minecraft Book Club, the series where I play Minecraft while talking about books. And today, we're going to be talking about Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger, specifically chapters 19, 20, and 21, all the while we get all our stuff back. Because if you missed last episode, I fell in the end, and it was not good. But we have this nether portal set up at least, and I'm pretty sure most of my items were in that ender chest anyway, so I think I can just die here. Or better yet, we can just go through the end portal, and then we should be fine. So let's go find that real quick. But yeah, we're going to get all our stuff back, right? All of it. It's all coming back to us. Oh, I need to break this. Dang it. But yeah, the plan is to get all our stuff back, and then I also looked at a seed map, so I know exactly where the elytra should be. So we'll be going... Excuse me? Stay there, dude. How many times do I have to do this? Hopefully by the end of today's video, we'll have our armor, our weapons, and our elytra and shulker boxes, as was the intention with last episode. So let's just hope that it's here. Yes, we have our fortune pick and an axe. So let's grab those. I'll need the food for now, because I think what I want to do is I want to make a tunnel in the nether to go back and get our stuff. So we're going to build a nether portal over to the end portal. That way we can travel between the two places pretty easily. Do I have a lot of cobble? I do. So we're going to need a ton of this, I think. Oh, do we have gold armor? I'll take gold armor too. My favorite biome, once again, we're going to it. 3 episodes in a row. So we're basically at 0, 0. We need to go to negative 16,183. Which hopefully isn't too far away. But while we do that, let's go ahead and start summarizing the segment. So last we left off, Holden had just finished his date with Sally by making her cry really badly. And then he made some plans to go drinking with this guy named Carl Luce. So we're going to pick up with Holden going to the Wicker Bar, which is a swanky bar in New York City, according to him. And this is where he agreed to meet Carl for their little drinking session. So as he starts drinking his alcohol, he talks about how Carl Luce is an old student advisor from the Wooten School, which is another school he got kicked out of. And Holden reminisces on how old Luce used to know every single... They call them flits, but I think that's like an old saying for a homosexual. But this guy seems to know of every single homosexual, so Holden has the opinion that Luce himself is a homosexual. And right as Carl arrives to drink with Holden, Holden starts asking him about... Oh, there it is. About his sex life. Just immediately, that's the first thing Holden asks about. And Luce, who is significantly older than Holden, basically just tells Holden, like, chill, man. When are you gonna grow up, alright? Chill out with the questions there, buddy. And then Holden decides to complain, because he's all like, oh, intellectual people like Luce, they only want to talk when they want to talk. They never want to talk when anyone else wants to talk. It's only when they want to talk. So he complains about that in his head. Anyway, Holden keeps pestering Carl anyway, and he keeps asking about this Chinese girlfriend that Carl has. Okay, I should explain my plans here. I'm basically building a bridge to the coordinate negative 600, negative 1192. And this is going to be a bridge all the way to the shulkers and elytra. I don't even know if I have enough stuff, because I need like 20 stacks of cobblestone, so I'll probably come back like partway through, but that's fine. But yeah, Holden keeps pestering this Carl guy, and then Carl's all like, dude, no typical Caulfield questions, alright? I don't want any of those. So Holden starts talking about how he has nothing in his romantic life, and then Carl's like, yeah, dude, you're one of the most immature people I've ever met. You gotta go fix that. And Holden's like, well, how would I fix that? And Carl recommends his dad, which does psychoanalysis or something like that. He's like, yeah, just give my dad a call. And then very shortly after, Carl's like, all right, sorry, Holden, I got a dip. I got a date. So he leaves, and then Holden just stays and gets more and more drunk as the night goes on. So Holden actually gets pretty drunk this night, and he goes up to the barkeep or the bartender, and he's like, hey, tell the pretty lady that's singing that I want to buy her a drink. And the bartender's like, all right, bud. And Holden's like, he's definitely not going to do it, but at least I asked. And then Holden starts role-playing again. He does that thing where he sticks his hand underneath his jacket because he feels like he's been shot. I really don't understand this, but this is the second time he's done it. The first time was with the pimp and the prostitute, and now he's doing it at the bar while he's drunk. And he's like, nobody here knows I'm shot. Which is alright. Alright, Holden, whatever you say, bud. Anyway, he finds a phone booth, and then he's like, oh, I should call Jane. Because, typical Holden thought, I should call Jane. And then, of course, typical Holden action, he goes and calls Sally. And this is the same night, I think, as the whole Sally incident. But he calls Sally, and first her grandparents pick up, and they're all upset because it's like 1 a.m., but then Holden finally gets Sally on the phone and drunkenly tells her 3 times that he's going to come over for Christmas to trim the Christmas tree. And Sally's like, all right, buddy, good night. And then she hangs up. Holden then goes into the bathroom, and he fills up a sink with cold water and dunks his head in it, but then he's really cold, so he goes and sits on the radiator for a bit. Anyway, Holden finds himself back in the bathroom, and the piano player comes in, and Holden's like, oh, please tell the pretty singer lady that I want to buy her a drink. Keeps on telling Holden, like, all right, bud, time to go home. You're done for tonight, Mac. It's probably honestly easier for me to just jump off here, but I'd be wasting these 12 pieces of bread. So I'm going to run all the way back. But I am going to grab the correct amount of stones this time. I think I need like 1,200 blocks of stone, or I'll probably use netherrack. But yeah, this is going to be quite the project. So I do actually have to go back, so we'll just die. This is a reenactment of, oh, okay, it's not a reenactment. So basically what my plan is here is I'm going to take all this stuff, and then I'm going to be able to kill the shulkers and get the elytra and all that. But it's also just iron, so if I die, it's no biggie. Alright, there's our ender chest. We can't place this down though, because I don't have silk touch, but we have it. And we can just keep everything else in here, and then we can go back and just start digging, I guess. Or building. I'm so nervous walking on this. Hopefully this is the last time I have to walk on it. And this is such a cool control. I have my settings on toggle shift, so since I'm shifting, I can open up my inventory and still shift while on this. This is so cool. And it also saves my pinky. It's amazing. The piano guy just told Holden that it's time to go home, and Holden refused, so he's just staying in the bathroom crying for a bit. And Holden says he doesn't know why he's crying, it just happened. I'm actually gonna continue the summary later, because this is really boring content, so I'm just gonna sit here and do this for a long time. We'll be back though, and when we're back, Holden's gonna be out of the bathroom and finished crying. And just like that, Holden is out of the bathroom, and he's done crying too. Funny thing, I've been building this path all the way there when I could have just bridged across and walked. But we're here. Oh no! I don't have a telescope anymore. I can't use my my telescope to zoom in. I already know I'm gonna look at an Enderman and just die here, but that is not the goal. I need to not sprint because I gotta conserve energy. Conserve my food, because I only have 14 things. I almost ran out of blocks though, so that's why I had to bridge across right there instead of continuing straight. But here we are. And there it is. The end city. So once Holden eventually stops crying, he goes over to the jacket counter and he brings his ticket. And the girl is super nice to him and really comforting, and he's like, "Well, thank you so much. Can I take you out for drinks?" And the lady's like, "No, sir, I'm old enough to be your mom. Just go home." So then Holden's finally like, okay, no one's going to tell me where the ducks go when the lake freezes over, so I'm going to go look at the lake myself. So he walks all the way to Central Park or whatever, and as he's roaming around the park, he gets lost. And he drops the record that he just bought for Phoebe, and it shatters into 50 pieces. And that upsets him even more. But he eventually finds the lake, or the pond, or whatever you want to call it, and when he gets there, there are no ducks. And he's like, where did all the ducks go, man? What in the world? There's no ducks. But then Holden goes and finds a park bench and he tries sleeping on it, but he's shivering and he's like, I'm gonna get hypothermia and die. This sucks. This is horrible. And he starts thinking about funerals, but then he's like, you know what? Phoebe, my little sister Phoebe, would hate to see me dead, so I'm just gonna go back to my apartment. So he starts making his way back to his apartment. The elevator guy kind of questions him, but Holden knows that if you just say whatever to elevator people, or really anyone in general, as long as whatever you say is really confusing, they'll just let you do whatever. So that's what he does to get into his apartment. Anyway, he gets into the apartment, his parents don't seem to be home, but Phoebe's sleeping in the older brother DB's bed, and Holden goes through all her notebooks real quick for school, reads a couple of the notes she's been passing around in class, and then she finally decides to go and wake Phoebe up. But before that, he does mention that kids typically look good while they're sleeping, when an adult in the same position just looks really sloppy and lousy. Oh, and also in one of Phoebe's notebooks, she has her middle name as Weatherfield, which is completely wrong, and Holden jokes about how every time he sees Phoebe, she's got a new middle name. Once Phoebe's woken up, she's super excited to see Holden, and she's really happy, and she starts talking to him, and he can't get any conversation in. She kind of just hogs the conversation. And then finally, Phoebe figures out that Holden got kicked out of school, and that's why he's home early for break, and she gets really upset and puts her head underneath a pillow and won't come out of the pillow. So Holden goes into the living room, grabs a cigarette, and that is how the segment ends. So for next episode, we're just going to finish the rest of the book. I think there's only 6 chapters left, or 5 chapters or something. So I figured we'd just do it all in one video. So that's what we're going to do. And we'll finally be done with this book. And I know normally I would probably do this while talking about the book, but based on last episode, I don't want to die, because I might die if I do that. So we're not going to do that today. I'm just going to play for a bit, because we've still got to get all our armor and our tools back. So I figured we'll do that while I talk about the book. But we're going to do this exciting, difficult stuff completely focused, because I don't want to die. I'm hoping we can get 3 or 4 shulker boxes out of this, just so we don't have to come back here for a while. I'm definitely going to need more shulker boxes as the series progresses though, but hopefully this will last us for the time being. I normally don't use a shield, but I have never fought a shulker before. I'm pretty nervous, guys. This is gonna suck. Oh, there it is. Ha 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 ha, we did it! There's the elytra. Oh my gosh. Let us put this chest down, I think. Oh my gosh. We have a nice diamond pick. That's for sure. Oh my gosh. We have better armor than we had. I'm gonna put that in immediately. Oh no. Oh, build, 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 build. And put this on my head, please. Okay. These guys are just kind of annoying. This is the most annoying combat in the world. Ah. No shulker shell. Okay. I was sort of hoping there'd be another shulker somewhere around here, but... Okay, well I think this place is done. There we go. No idea where those are coming from, but... behind us, I guess. Oh, yes, another shell. This is beautiful. We're gonna have to go back up and put that in, because I am not risking losing that shell. Boom, 2 shulker shells. Wonderful. Alright, now I can kind of more freely attack the rest of this dang place. Just a ladder. Oh, and parkour? Okay. So I guess this combat is actually pretty easy, so I actually feel comfortable talking about the book right here. Oh, there's a shulker shell. But the first thing I want to talk about is Holden's obsession with sex. This guy seems to only be able to talk about that. So the first thing Holden asks, the Carl Loose guy, is just about his sex life. It's like, there's no other question for Holden to ask. But I guess that's just something that comes with being a teenage boy going through puberty. That's just gonna be something you obsess over, perhaps. But I also feel like every single chapter in this book has talked about sex, right? Holden has mentioned it at one point or another. Okay, come on. That's such a cheat. We definitely haven't gone like a single chapter without Holden mentioning sex at some point, or at least a single video. He seems to mention it every single video, because I feel like I have to talk about it all the time. So Holden should definitely just take Carl's advice and mature up, and stop being so immature, you know? Just like understand that sex isn't like the end of the world, I guess. I don't know. So the next thing I want to talk about is just alcohol in general. In the United States, alcohol has a reputation of being pretty destructive, but that's basically just a element of our culture. So a lot of countries have a bunch of like kids that'll drink, but in the United States, illegal till you're 21, right? I personally feel that part of the reason America has a big drinking problem, like Holden is demonstrating, is because alcohol is so taboo here. But it might also just be a cultural thing, who knows? In general, though, this reminds me of a question I was always asked in college, because they do these alcohol usage questions and these surveys that you would have to fill out. But basically, the surveys always asked what I think is an important question, and that question is essentially, in the past few days, if you've drank alcohol, do you ever regret doing something while you were drunk? And that's part of the problem with alcohol in general, is just you not acting like yourself. Because you can drink alcohol and be perfectly fine, but when you're like Holden and you drink and you shatter the gift that you got someone, or you start asking really old women out or start harassing entertainers, you know, that's an issue. So alcohol, in my opinion, is a pretty fine, okay thing to consume, but it's only fine as long as you can, like, control yourself with it. If not, then it starts to become an issue. So just like everything in life, it's all about dosage, really. There we go. Okay, perfect. So we have 6 shulker shells, plus the 2 in the chest. That's like 4 total. So I think we're actually going to be done here. We'll leave these shulkers just so we can come back to them later. Okay, so we'll put all of that in the ender chest there. So I think all we need to do now is kill an enderman for an ender pearl, because I believe there's a end gate somewhere around here. So we can go back to the island. I think that's how it works. If not, we can just kill ourselves, because I put all our important things into that chest. Yeah, there it is. And hopefully it just leads us back to the island. Oh, we don't even need the ender pearl, actually, because I think we can just use the water to go through. So what we do is we just put the water there, and then we get into swim mode. Aha! And we're right here. And nothing important, right? Beautiful! And we get to keep our 6 levels of experience for doing that. So we can go through now. And we're back home. And we have a elytra and a chestplate and some leggings. And everything is wonderful and great. There's a freaking Enderman somewhere. There he is. Come here. Oh, no, 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 no. Dang it, dude. Well, there goes our 6 levels. Anyway, back to what I was gonna do, which is memorialize this set of armor as the set of armor that took out the shulker. But there it is. And that's our spare set if we ever need it again. Hey, come here, jerk. Oh my gosh. I'm losing all my experience, I guess. There we go. Goodness. So I've got 2 more things to talk about, but while we do that, we're going to recover some of the tools we lost. I need a new sword, a new diamond pick with silk touch, and a new bow. Oh, and all my armor. Maybe not all of it. We just need some really nice boots. I'm not sure if I'll make a helmet. I was wondering where a bunch of my stuff was. It's all in here. It's all in this chest. All my diamond tools. I was missing them. Now we have them. We're chilling. Well, I saved you guys a bunch of headache, because that footage would have sucked, but we have a ton of XP now, so we should be able to go ahead and enchant all our stuff and, get some emeralds going for some mending books and recover all our items. But while we do that, we're going to continue analyzing the book. So in this section, Holden finally gets to go and see the ducks, right? He's been asking everyone where the ducks go, and he finally gets to find out. So I remember that the ducks are supposed to be a metaphor for something, and I'm pretty sure it's about coming to age. And my reasoning for thinking this is because the ducks have to leave the pond, right? That's the whole thing. But Holden doesn't know what the ducks do, right? That's why he keeps asking everyone where the ducks go when the lake freezes over. It's because the lake becomes unlivable for the ducks, and, what do the ducks do in that stage? And I personally think that that's a parallel to coming of age, right? You're a child, your lake is starting to freeze. What do, right? You've gotten to swim in the pond your entire life, and now you have to go and actually do something. So the ducks are an example of people having to, adapt to change, right? When Holden goes to see the ducks, they're not there. And that's because the ducks had to adapt to their new environment and fly away. They can't just stay in the pond forever. And I think that's something that Holden doesn't want to hear, is that the duck needs to learn to fly away from its pond. Any duck that stays and lives in the pond during the winter is going to freeze and die. So you need to learn to change your situation. And I think that's a good metaphor for coming of age. So I need a helmet, I need some boots, I need a pick, and I need a sword. And the last thing I have to talk about for the segment is the difference between children and adults to Holden. And I think the main way to view this is through Phoebe. A lot of what Phoebe does, like hogging the conversation or, just changing her middle name, I think Holden would find a lot of those things either phony or just, ooh, that was horrible. He'd find them phony or disingenuine or just lousy, right? Could you imagine Ackley changing his middle name? That'd be unbelievable. So that is a nice backup pick. Do we keep this? I need Silk Touch, but I'm going to keep that for now. I don't want Fire Aspect, though. So, can I put Unbreaking on this? No? Okay. I have to do that in an anvil. But yeah, Phoebe's controlling the entire conversation, which Holden probably doesn't like. And she's changing her middle name, and she's being too loud. But to Holden, it's just like, oh, it's just Phoebe, And he also mentioned how Phoebe sleeping looked cute or whatever, but then if an adult were to sleep in the same way, it'd be really weird. So I think he's just at a strange point in his life where everything is, weird if an adult does it. But yeah, that's about all I have to talk about for the book. I basically am just enchanting these things now to get them up to the level I want them. This is a nice backup pick, so we might save that. This has potential, I just need a Silk Touch book, and I want Looting 3 and Sweeping Edge 3 on the sword, so we're pretty far on that one. And we also need to put Mending on everything, so that's going to be a struggle for sure. But we have an iron farm, so it's not the worst thing in the world to get, so it just takes time, really. Alright, so I'm back up to 30 levels. Let's see. Book is Riptide 2, I am not getting that. Unbreaking 3 on the pick, that could be... That's a bit of a risk. Let's do the pick. Please give me Silk Touch. We got it. We got it. I'm happy I made a brand new pick. Also, we need to test out this elytra. So we do that, and then we get to finally see our world from the sky. Okay. I'm flying. Oh, okay, we're chilling. Look at that, guys. This is crazy. It's a whole new perspective on our world. Wow. I'm very glad I have these. That's amazing. Should probably do this before it becomes too much of a problem, though. Mending. Aha. That's right, buddy. Let's put that on there. Ooh, we need a name. I think we go with the old classic. This is gonna be pumpkin pie. Right here. Whoa. It's dark now. That took forever to name. Alright, so this is the last chance for me to get a good sword. Otherwise the video's ending. Unbreaking 3? Or Unbreaking 3 on the book, please? Density 4. No, okay. Oh yeah, that's exactly... This thing's garbage now. This is just missing looting, so that's perfect. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you all for watching. Remember, we're completing the book for the next episode, so be sure to read those if you're following along. But yeah, that's going to do it. So thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day.